Today we're looking at the Dior Fall Collection, the sweater collection, the embossed collection. I have both eyeshadows, I have the blush, I have one of the new lip products, all kinds of good details. We're gonna go into it. I have a look with each quint, on my eyes. I'll go into that in a little bit. And then at the end, I'll have all kinds of comparisons to different blushes and different eyeshadow quints from Dior to see if you're interested in picking these up. Why is this a little bit late? Because usually, you know, when Dior comes out with a new collection, or Tom Ford or Chanel, I get it right away. I will be honest, when I saw this collection, I was like, at first I was like, oh, how pretty. And then I saw the details of it and I'm like, I'm not gonna like it. Because it just looked, and again, we'll get into it, but one looked like too much and then the other one looked like too little. And I was just like, eh. And I'm the kind of person who, you know, you learn this, hopefully you learn this when you're young, but you definitely learn it by the time you're my age. You admit when you're wrong. I was wrong. These are great. And I love them both. Whether or not they're worth picking up for you guys and whether you should buy them, that's a whole nother thing. Again, we'll get into all those details, but I actually love them and think they look great on me. And I don't know exactly what I was thinking. I do know what I was thinking, but anyway. So let's get into the lip product first because this is the Rouge Dior Forever Liquid Lacquer. And I have it in shade 200. Now 200, let me just make sure I have the right name. Yeah, it's Nude Touch. There is a lighter shade, which is 100, which is Nude Look, which we all know in Dior is like a pretty popular shade, pretty famous shade. I have it in like matte and cream and satin. I don't know how many things I have it in. But it looked a little pink to me, so I was like, you know, I'm gonna go with the 200. It says transfer-proof liquid lipstick, ultra shiny and ultra pigmented finish and intense comfort. So I've been wearing it for a little while. It does have like a liquid lacquer type of shine. And it's an odd formula. So a couple things. It says, once the biphase formula is blended by shaking the tube for 5 seconds. So make sure you know, make sure you shake it. And then you put it on your lips and it's got this kind of concave on one side. You see that? Yeah. It's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if I don't know how I feel about that yet. Anyway. And it has a smell to it. Almost like alcohol. I think that's what it is. It's like it's not perfume. It's like alcohol. It dissipates very, very quickly, but it is there. I've been dealing with migraines. I went through a whole steroid treatment. I have 1 day left, thank goodness. If you've ever dealt with migraines and not knowing how to control, like when they get overwhelming, like, yeah, I used to get like 1 a month, or I've had them since I was a kid. But now I was getting like 4 or 5 a week. So they put me on this steroid thing that basically stops them, and then you hopefully don't get them again to the extent that you were getting them before, and other medication. But I have not been around any perfume in the last 3 weeks, which kills me because, you know, I love perfume, but I have not touched a perfume in 3 weeks. So smell at this point, like scent, is very, I'm being very careful. And that one doesn't trigger anything, but I definitely notice it more than I probably would have, say, a month ago. So anybody out there who has migraines, who has sensitivity to things, just be aware there's like a chemical smell. It dissipates quickly, but again, when you're dealing with something like this, you know, little things matter. And by the way, I have a moisturizer that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to put it on Instagram. I keep saying I'm going to do it, but my headaches have been so bad I haven't been able to. That is fragrance free, that I've been using because I haven't been able to like touch anything with fragrance in it, and it's phenomenally good. So we'll talk about that soon. So is it transfer proof? I don't know if it's transfer proof. You have to leave it on for a little bit. It feels a little, it does feel lacquer-like in the sense like it's a little sticky, a little glossy. It feels comfortable actually, so it doesn't feel uncomfortable. Let's wait until the end of the video and then I'll kiss the back of my hand and we'll see what happens. But it's actually, like, I like the shade and I actually like the feel of it. So when I tried it before, there was some transfer. That's why I'm kind of edging here. But let's see what it is at the end of the video. But I do like the product so far. I'm not so sure transfer proof is, but we'll see. We'll see in a moment. All right, so let's go to the blush and then we'll do the eyeshadows. And like I said, I'll have comparisons at the end as well. So the blush, when I saw it, I thought it was like another rose kind of pinky blush. It's 537 Grand Ball. Now, supposedly this exists, or this did exist, in the re-release of the blushes, of the blushes. My headaches are better, but my brain is still slightly off. And I'm actually looking it up here. Yes, it does. There's a Grand Ball 314 in the regular blush category. And it looks totally different. The shade to me, again, this is online, so it's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like a totally different shade. And the number is totally different. It's 314. And then if you go to this one online and you look it up, it says, you know, new and exclusive, Grand Ball, and it's 537, and it looks like a different shade altogether. And I would say on the face, and I'll have video go up of me putting it on, it is absolutely, they describe it as an orangey rosewood shade. It is. It's warm. It has a really beautiful finish, and I actually love the shade on me. In fact, I don't have any bronzer on today, guys, because I wanted you to see the colors without, you know, bronzer messing it up. You know how pale I am. So it's beautiful. I love the finish. I think the shade is perfect. It is a rosewood with some warmth to it. I'll swatch it next to Chanel and a bunch of other shades from Dior. And the new Chanel blushes, I'll use both Chanel blushes swatch against so you can see it. I love this shade. And I'll be honest, I was not expecting to like it at all. Like, I looked at it online and I was like, well, it's another nude, you know, pinky nude. That is not what it looks like, at least not on me. On me, it is a orangey rosewood, which is how they describe it. So it's a warm rosewood. So it's got like, it's almost neutral because it's got this coolness and then a warmth, you know, that balances it out. I love it. And you can see it when I put the video, like I'm doing the video and I'm just like, ooh, this looks nice. I did not expect it. So it's $45. Again, it's a satiny finish. Whether or not you need it is really, again, how much blush do we all have right now? We have a lot of blush. Everyone has a lot of blush at this point. So, you know, I'm not going to get up here and be like, oh my goodness, it's, you know, the best thing ever. You must buy it. I don't do that anyway. But my hair, it's doing odd things. But even if I were to do that, I just wouldn't do that. I just don't think that's legitimate. Like all of these things, and I, you know, if you haven't watched me before, by the way, hi, my name is Jennifer. I love all things luxury, beauty, fashion, runs the gamut. I worked as a Chanel makeup artist like half a lifetime ago. And here on my channel, I do all things luxury. Like I said, luxury, beauty, fashion. I'm going to have some fashion stuff coming up because it's fall. And I love fall fashion. And I would love it if you would subscribe down below. You know, I've been trying to get more into my analytics and stuff, and I'm really trying to like grow the channel by the end of the year. I have a goal. Me being these health issues that I've been dealing with, I've been trying to focus on some positive things. And it would mean a great deal if, you know, you have to like, you have to focus on positive, everybody. To get through things. It would be really fantastic. If we could grow the channel, I've got certain goals for myself, and I would love to have you join. I'd love to have you part of the community. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the little notification bell. So, you know, the Dior blushes and the reformulation, I actually didn't notice that I thought that the blushes actually were just as good, if not better. The other blushes, the backstage ones, I think those got worse. But I actually really liked all of these, and all the ones that I've used, I've really liked. I've always liked the Dior blushes. I think they're very, very good. And so what I would say is, if you're looking for an exclusive blush and you want something that has this sort of warmish rosewood tone and has like a satiny finish, then yeah, absolutely, I would recommend this one at $45. It's expensive. You know, these are exclusive and limited edition, so I don't know if they'll be part of sale. I just don't know. Probably not, but they could stick around because they're still not sold out, and they don't look like they're, you know, selling out because people are buying less for good reason. So, you know, you can wait for a sale, you can look for, you know, coupons, that type of thing. I do think this is a really beautiful shade. So I will say that. And I think the formula is excellent. And on more textured, more mature skin, I think the Dior products work extremely well. This is my best way of sort of wrapping it up. I am going to have an update video with this stuff and other things. I always do update videos. And in those videos, I will talk about like ratings and stuff. But they're a little too new for me to rate. But I would say I like it so much more than I thought I would. And probably it's my favorite thing from the collection because I love the shade. I thought it was gorgeous the minute I put it on. All right, and then the eyeshadows. So we're gonna get into the looks for the eyeshadows. So the first one I did, and I'll hold it up first so you can see it. This is a Beige Couture 523. And this is the one that I was like, well, it's too little. Because I was like, it's a bunch of cream shades. What in the world did Dior do? And I still think, and I'll get to it at the end, like, I still think that these two could have been done better. However, let's roll me putting on this look. So I started with like the upper left-hand corner, which is like a creamy champagne kind of shade. And then I took the lightest shade, put it in the brow. It's very much a cream. I took the taupey shade, made a transition out of it. I took the apricot shade, put it on the eye, and then I took that deep brown shade, lined the eyes, and sort of did a little bit of a wing with it on the outer corners. And I have a similar reaction to this quint, I keep doing that I did with Grand Ball years ago, where when I first saw Grand Ball, I'm like, well, there's like one look or two looks you can get from it. And that's probably still true. But Grand Ball became one of my favorite quints because every time I used it, although there wasn't a lot of different ways to use it, it always looked stunning and everyone always commented every time I used that particular quint, which is really interesting. This one, I think, has a similar effect. I would say that the four shades, again, I'll get into this when I want to talk about the other one as well, but I feel like they could have replaced one of those shades with something from the other quint to make it more balanced, because the champagne shade and then the one I put in the brow shade, those top two shades, they are very similar. And I feel like you could have replaced one of those with a deeper shade, like a shimmery brown, like that's in the other one, which we'll talk about in a minute. And that would have been perfect. And then you would have had more looks you could do with it. You could have taken like this shade and replaced it with a shimmery brown, or maybe even like, a wet brown. And then you could have had like this look here and then this look here, and But because these two do look very similar on the eye, I feel like it's a waste of shade. Now, there is a difference. It does look different. If you looked at the look, you can see there is a difference between those two shades, but it's not drastic. And I think Dior would have done a better job if they had replaced this one with some kind of, shimmer or beige or something like that, or taupe or cream, anything that had like a little bit of shimmer to it, a little bit of depth. That would have made it more balanced. However, I will also say this quint is going to be one of those quints that I bet I'm going to reach for way more than I thought, because it's a really easy look. And because these shades are shades that I can use over and over again in other looks. This is a great taupe. This is a great, it's almost like a peach, like a slight peach. And then this is, a great champagne. This is a great cream. And this is a perfect brown. So even if I just want to do one shade on my eye, I could take this taupe, or I could take this peachy shade. Or if I just need a deep brown liner, there we go. If I just want to deepen up so this is one of those quints that I can just use it really easily for a work appropriate look. And we've talked about this, like the whole thing about neutrals and quiet luxury. And like I said before about trends are fun. I enjoy them. But trends are just marketing, guys. That's all they are. And we've been doing this look, or at least people I know have been doing this look forever with, you know, neutrals. And this is a great one to do it with. It's actually really good. Again, is it worth the money? This is an expensive quint. It's $68. You can buy Natasha Denona's I Need a Nude for $60. This is $68. It's $69, and you get 15 shades. And I will say, like, that 15 pan palette is actually really good. I think there's great looks that you can do with that. It's more cool toned. This is definitely more, this one here is definitely more neutral. Neutral, yeah, definitely neutral. I would say this is neutral. It leans a little bit warm, but the brown and the taupe bring it to a neutral. So this color story isn't really in the I Need a Nude. That one's more cool toned. I have seen pictures of the I Need a Nude where it looks warmer. But guys, even on the Sephora app, it's described as cool tone. Like, that's actually that's how they describe it. And I mean, yes, things go cool tone on me, but that's not a warm palette. That's not a neutral palette. That's, in my opinion. Again, and maybe it only goes cool on me, but it's cool toned. It's not cool gray like glam by any means, but it's not a warm leaning or even neutral palette overall. This one I would say is definitely more neutral. So, but again, it's $68 for 5 shades, and the Natasha Denona is $69 for 15 shades. The Natasha Denona for when it comes to eyes and like the formula, I think this formula is better. I think it's better for texture. I think the Natasha Denona, some of the wet looks that are in there, they could accentuate texture. I don't think it's necessarily, it's not a formula that has that in mind. It's not like the Clé de Peau, and it's not like the Dior that has all kinds of skincare. That's not true. It is different. The formula is different. It doesn't mean that it's not good. It's not pigmented. The Natasha Denona is beautiful and very pigmented, and works, I think, will work on, I don't think it's going to work on everybody because the shades, but I think it'll work on quite a few people. But the formula, if you're talking about people who are concerned with skin issues on their eyes, or mature, I'm using the word, you know, but like, you could be young and have issues with the skin texture on your eyes. If those are your concerns, no, I don't think Natasha Denona is as good as the Dior or the Clé de Peau, personally. But you'd only experience that if you've had a texture. If you don't have any of those issues, you won't notice a difference. So don't spend more money because you don't need to. So yeah, again, it's my really long way of saying I really like this quint, and I did not expect that at all. I thought it was going to be very boring, and I was like, well, what am I going to use it for? Actually, it's great. You know, I want to be careful because I don't want everyone to be like, well, see, you know, there's 5 shades in there and they're boring, and Jennifer says it's great. For my life, for my lifestyle, for what I do, it's great. It might not be great for you. And $68 to me is a reasonable price for me to pay for the formula, which I actually think is extremely good and looks good on my eye and lasts and doesn't irritate my skin and all of those things. And I've said this many times before, 20-year-old Jennifer would not have agreed to that statement, which is okay because they're different people at different points in their life. Now, the other one, which is what I have on now, and this one is a very intense look. And I did not even try to make it intense. I tried to keep it on the lighter side of the intensity of this look. But there's really no way to do that with this quint because all the shades in here are deep. Now, it is named Rouge Saga. So, you know, 683. It's not like they, you know, the name matches. It's Rouge. It's deep. It's something. Now, I kept the red shade, which I think you would say, well, this one, it's interesting. This is more like, I'll put the swatches up again. This one is more like, almost like a cool toned, and then this one has a little bit more orange in it. And then this is the satiny shade, the brown satiny shade, which I put on the eyelid, which I really think would have looked really good in the other one. In fact, if I mix this in with the other beige shades, I think it's gonna look really, really nice. But anyway, I put that on the lid. It's a beautiful, and I'll have the video go up. It's a beautiful look. And actually, somebody with my coloring, somebody with my shade of eye color, this is really going to look, it's definitely gonna make your eyes pop. It's gonna make your blue eyes pop. It's definitely going to be a thing. It's a vibe. It's a look. This is the exact polar opposite of the other quint, the beige. The beige is, I need makeup, I'm going to the office, I'm going, you know, to somewhere where I want to look nice, but I don't want it to stand out, whatever that is for you. And this is, I want everyone to notice what I'm wearing. All right, so we'll have comparisons in a minute. Let's try the lipstick. Sort of transfer proof. See, this is what happened to me before. See that ring? Now, it's definitely better than a regular lipstick, because if I had a regular lipstick, you would have seen lip prints on the back of my hand, and you don't. Do it again. See? But you see like an outline of my lips. So I don't know if it's transfer proof. I think there is some transfer, but I don't think it's transfer proof. I do think there's transfer, but I do think it stays shiny. It's sticky though. It feels like a little, like not when I put my lips together, but like on my lips it feels, because it's a lacquer. So it feels a little sticky. I don't think it's completely transfer proof, but I do like it and it is comfortable. So if it's something you're looking for, I would say it's a good product. I can't say whether I love it or not yet because I'm just not used to it. You know, I'm just starting it out. But the color I love. 200 I love. Okay, let's do swatches. Let's start. And yes, the embossing is going to be gone, guys. Like if you're buying it for the embossing, don't buy it for the embossing because the embossing is going to be gone. That's Grand Ball. Do you see what I mean? It has like an orangey rosewood satiny. It's really beautiful. I did not expect that at all. I really didn't. I mean, in any way. Let's do Charnel. Thought, no way, I'm not gonna like it. Which is why it's taken me so long to buy this collection, because I was like, I'll just wait. And then I put it on Instagram and you all said you wanted to see it. So I was like, all right. So here we are. Charnel next to it. Charnel has a similar shade. Lighter, not as satiny. This has more like, almost like a, it's not a shimmer, it's like a luminosity that Charnel does not have. All right, let's try the Jungle. I tried to pick shades that were like more, you know, like brownish. Similar shade to Jungle, but deeper and a little warmer. Has a little bit more, orange. Okay, let's see. Dansante, which is a very light shade, but I wanted to show you. These are all satins, so they should be, that's the Dansante. Similar color stories, but again, much lighter. All right, let's take a look at the new Chanel. Now, the blush from Chanel, this is the Beige at Coral, which I just swatched. That does look more like this Grand Ball, but it's peachier, more corally, whereas the Grand Ball has like I said, it's like an orange rosewood. They actually described it really well, but it is a similar shade. And the Chanel is limited edition as well. And then this is the Rose at Mauve, which is a Mauve, which is of course going to be very different, but I just wanted you to see it so that you'll know, like this is it's a very different shade. It's definitely, very cool leaning and very mauve, depending on how you decide to pronounce it. But the Coral, it's similar finish. the Grand Ball had like a browner, orangier, and it's a little bit deeper. But I like them both. For the eyeshadows, the Rouge Saga, I think there's some quints, other Dior quints that might make good comparisons. Let me know which ones you want to see, and I will put those together. However, what I've been asked for this video, like right now, and because I don't have time to do everything, unfortunately, I wish I did, but I don't, are comparisons for the beige. Why do I keep just calling it the beige? There's an actual name for it, Jennifer. Beige Couture. Yeah, I should know that. So we're going to compare for this one. So I've got, to compare to, I've got Pret-a-Porter, Nude Dress, and Tout de Joie. I think Nude Dress is the one that everybody is like, I think it's going to be, you know, the same. So I want to show you that. So Beige Couture, if you want to see shades for Rouge Saga, let me know, and I'll make sure they're up over on Instagram. And for those of you who haven't watched me before, I do have I do have a page on Patreon where I put things that I think are going to get me taken off Instagram or YouTube, like sneak peeks and stuff. I just put up Chanel stuff. I will have Tom Ford stuff up there too. And if you sign up over there and there are things you want to see specifically, let me know, because over there I can like directly see like who's asking me. So if there's something specific you're looking for, like a swatch comparison or something, I can get right to it. It's a little harder for me here because, again, I only do this very part-time, and so sometimes I miss things. This is Nude Dress compared to it. And I think Nude Dress is kind of what I was, you know, thinking when I was saying if they had added a, you know, a different shade, like a, you know, shimmery taupey shade to balance it out. I think that's kind of Nude Dress, which is interesting. It's probably where my brain went, because I was like, this is, you know, this is like Grand Ball all over again. But again, I love Grand Ball, so can't really be too hard on it. Okay, so that's Beige Couture. That's Nude Dress. They actually don't really look that much alike. Nude Dress is much more shimmery. And like I said, these two shades look very similar on the eye. See what I mean? Like, this is more of a champagne and this is more of a cream, but they're both shimmery. And it's like, if you had just, I don't know. I feel like you could have, oh wait, did I forget a shade? I did, I forgot a shade. Got a shade in Beige Couture. Sorry. It's hard to see it. It's cream. Yeah, see, like, this one is the one I put on my eyes, got like that pinky shade, and then this is the champagne, and then this is one I put in the brow. You could easily take this out and put in like this shade here, and I think it would have been, I don't know, more versatile, but again, I still really like it. I have to be, you know, I have to be honest, and I think it's actually one I'm going to use, which is fascinating. Okay, so that's Nude Dress. Let's do Pret-a-Porter. And Pret-a-Porter, I don't know, talking about Patreon, I think I have this up on Patreon, but I don't think I ever put it up on YouTube because it was a cruise look collection and then it never actually came out. I'm gonna have to check that because I don't know if I ever actually, I know I put it on Patreon, but I don't know if I ever actually put it up on YouTube because I think it was available for like 5 minutes and then it was gone. It's more like Nude Dress, but then it has this like coppery shade in it. Beige Couture definitely has these 3 light shades that's like a peach, a champagne, and a cream that there's some difference, but there's not a tremendous difference. I will say that if your skin has a deeper skin tone, you might notice more difference between those 3 shades because there's going to be, you know, a difference in the shades. For somebody who's pale like I am, you might not see it. So that would be interesting. I'd love to see this on different skin tones. And this one is the Tour de Joie, which is a warmer palette. It has a really pretty coral in it that I love. And then like one cool shade. So, Beige Couture, Nude Dress, Pret-a-Porter, and then Tour de Joie. Yeah, they're similar color stories. It's not like they're so drastically different. The Tour de Joie is the most different than the others. And Nude Dress isn't like, again, if you looked at Beige Couture and a Nude Dress, you would be like, oh my goodness, they look nothing alike. But they're not the same. Beige Couture is much more a light, almost creamy white with just, you know, a taupe and a brown. Whereas Nude Dress is definitely more shimmery, and it's got taupe shade and this sort of pinky brown shade. And it's decidedly different. So that is the Dior fall collection. You know, my final thoughts, I would say I like these quints much more than I've said this a couple times. I really do like them. Even like this look, I think is really beautiful. I think it really is very flattering on my coloring. I think it's a deep look, and I definitely would like say this is a fall look, but I do think it's beautiful. I have to say, I really do like it, and it goes really well with my hair and my eyes, so it's beautiful. I don't think this is going to be for everybody though, because these are very distinct shades. Like these are shades that not everybody's going to feel comfortable wearing, and you know, it's not gonna work for everyone. But I have to say, when I put it on, when I was finally down with the look, I was like, actually, that looks really nice. The Beige Couture, I really do like it, and I thought the look that came out was really nice as well. And I have to say, like, I could see me wearing that a lot. This is my personal opinion. $68 for, you know, 3 shades that look very similar to one another, though. Let's be honest. That's a lot of money, so I totally get that. But I'm just glad that I spent my money and I actually liked these products, because guys, I really, when I saw pictures, I was just like, no. And so I am thrilled that they worked as well as they, I really, like, they worked beautifully on me. Like, I like all of these shades on me, and I really didn't think any of them were going to work. So, you know, that makes me happy. The lipstick is now become like sticky. It's not uncomfortable, but it's not comfortable either. It's kind of like, it's like not tacky. It's a weird feeling. It's like a lacquer. Like there's like a layer on my lips. And if you have really dry lips, this is probably going to bug you, because it's starting to bug me. However, it is staying on, and it does look shimmery. So, like, to an event or something, this might be something I would do because it would stay, and I would just deal with the slight discomfort, you know, because it would stay on my lips. Like, my most comfortable lipsticks and lip glosses and those types of things that I love, they don't stay. They don't. Because they're moisturizing and they're glossy and they wear off. And if you're drinking, or if you're, you know, having past apps at a function, they come off. I feel like this wouldn't, which is definitely what its purpose is. So I think it fulfills its purpose. If you don't have super dry lips or dry lips, I think you're gonna be fine with it. And the shade is beautiful. It's perfect for fall and goes beautifully with the collection. So yeah, I give the collection, you know, I have to wait till I rate it, but I love all the shades. I was wrong. I was incorrect in not getting it. The pictures led me astray. I thought this look was gonna be so red, and it's not. It's auburn. It's like there's the mixing of the shades make it an auburny fall. It's like the color of my hair. It's not red or plum either. I mean, like, there's a shade in here that's plum, but when you mix it with the other ones, that's not what you get. And the beige, yeah, it's, like I said, I don't love the fact that there's 3 shades in there that they definitely could have replaced one of those shades. But I actually think a lot of people are going to use that. Like, I could see that. And I can see me using it. So you know. And I guess the reason that I'm like tense about it is because I always want to be really honest with all of you. And I know how expensive things are. You know, just because I'm spending money on something doesn't mean that I feel like it's reasonable for everybody. And I'm very aware that, you know, $68 is a lot of money. Like, just because I've worked to a point in my life that now I can afford doesn't mean I don't recognize the importance and the, you know, what $68 means. Like, it's a lot of money for makeup that goes bad. So I don't ever want to get anybody to a point where they're like, I must have it, because that's not what I'm trying to do. But I do really think that both of these looks are really nice, and I really think they look really good. So I don't also want to undersell it because I really like it and I think it looks really good. So, you know, it would be disingenuous of me to be like, oh no, I don't like it. I do like it. Of the two, I think the Beige Couture will be more user-friendly. Like, I think more people will gravitate towards that because I think it's easier to use. This look, like I said, it's, you know, it's a more intense look. I just don't think as many people will love it. The blush, I really love. You have to like the shade, but I really like the way it looks. Really do. Perfect. Perfect for fall. All right, guys. I can't wait to hear all the comments on this one in the comments below. Come on, bring them at me. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you in another video. Thanks so much. Bye.